Between 1887 and 1889, a considerable number of students in the faculties of medicine, pharmacy, and civil law left the Universidad de Santo Tomas to pursue their studies in Spain or elsewhere in Europe. The student exodus prompted speculations in the peninsula that the university was no longer able to provide its students quality education, and that Dominican orthodoxy had kept its antiquated ways and impeded scientific freedom. Writing on November 22, 1888, a certain Guillermo Bugarde related to the university rector Gregorio Echeverria that an anonymous defamatory report purportedly written at the behest of the liberal minister Manuel Becerra was circulating in the office of the Ministerio de Ultramar in Madrid. According to Bugarde, the report assailed the decadence of the university, for it did not implement the prescribed curriculum in Spanish universities. It gave precedence instead to the faculties of theology and canon law, privileging dogmatism while suppressing academic freedom in the secular faculties. Such a regressive state, the report concluded, prompted Filipino students to leave Santo Tomas and seek a more modern and progressive education in Spain. Hi, I'm Javier Leonardo Rugeria of the Department of History, University of the Philippines, Diliman. I am the author of the article Jose Maria Panganiban's La Universidad de Manila and the Liberal Campaign for Reforms in Philippine Higher Education. As the title suggests, my article examines Jose Maria Panganiban's La Universidad de Manila columns, which appeared in the fortnightly organ of the propaganda movement La Solidaridad in April and May 1889. Grounding my study on Panganiban's life and lived experiences in both Manila and Barcelona, I elaborated his 5 salient points of criticism on the state of higher education at UST in the late 19th century, namely the Dominican orthodoxy, the system of appointing professors, academic instruction, the Thomistic pedagogical paradigm, and the lack of facilities for clinical practice. In view of the existing historiography, particularly the work of Fathers John Schumacher and Fidel Villaruel, I argue that Panganiban's criticism of the university, although born out of propaganda, finds empirical grounding in his years of study in Santo Tomas from 1882 to 1888. I also illustrate that Panganiban's columns represented a wider and liberal campaign for reform in Philippine higher education that took place in Madrid and Barcelona between 1888 and 1891. Evidence suggests that the initiative came from Miguel Moraita and Rafael Labra, who organized in June 1888 the Asociación Hispano-Filipina, which included the secularization of Santo Tomas as part of its main political agenda. Moreover, Becerra lobbied to the Spanish Parliament several educational reforms in the Philippines, most notably his petition for an increased state intervention at UST. After Panganiban's death in August 1890 and the fall of the liberal government, Ponce, Del Pilar, and Antonio Luna continued the writing and publication of the La Universidad de Manila columns. Becerra, for his part, proposed a bill reorganizing education in the Philippines in 1891. But despite these renewed efforts, I show that the campaign floundered and eventually met its demise. With that, I'd like to invite you to read my article in the June 2021 issue of Philippine Studies, Historical and Ethnographic Viewpoints. Diyos mabalos, maraming salamat po.